And I will be at the library tonight. Okay? So if you need help, come on down, and we'll do everything we can to help you out. I love being successful. I am good at everything I do except one thing.
Music.
No, I can't. I'm not musically talented, but I'm okay with it. No, I can't put like a hitch on my car and drive backwards and get the things to go where it's supposed to go. I stink at it. In fact, my wife took a video of me and posted it on YouTube of me trying to do it, and everybody wrote back that it was like the funniest video they ever saw in their entire life.
What's it called?
I don't know what it's called. I don't know how many views. I just know I looked at it and it was pretty funny. Yes?
What's going to be the testimony?
The test, the quiz? The quizzes all look exactly alike. So what it looked like today and yesterday, it will look like tomorrow. Okay, what's that? Right, just with different numbers. Okay, so remember that whole trust thing? You're failing it right now. Right? You got to get yourself focused when it's time to focus. So what we've done over the last few days is we've been talking about operating with scientific notation. We're going to do a little more of it today, a little bit more of it tomorrow. Then we're going to learn what I would call really easy topic. It's a review of last year. It's just like two-step equations like 2x plus 1 equals 7. And then we're going to spend a few days getting ready for our test. And we're going to learn all about performances, preparation, and so on and so forth. So let's take a look at this first question here. Express as a standard numeral. Who thinks they know how to get this right? Who thinks they got it? Go ahead, Angela.
Decimal
Oh, let me get keep going. All right, 0 point.
0, 0, 0.
Excuse me. No issues, right? Whatever it was that was going on before, we're getting it focused in the right direction. Go ahead.
0, 0, 0, 0.
Yeah, and that's right. Now, what I always recommend to kids to do is when you think you have the answer, go backwards and see if you get what the question said. Kind of like Jeopardy. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would give me 1.2 times 10 to the negative 5. So this shouldn't be there. But this is your answer right there. 0.000012. Okay, next one. Who has that answer for me? Mr. Markup, what do you have, pal? Here's the problem. Once you are going to write it as a standard numeral, there's no more 3-point anything. Now you're going to just move that decimal. So I have to move how many places? Right, so here's where it starts. That's why it's there, to tell you where it starts. Then I have to do a 0 and an 8 because they're there. But I got to go 7 places. Well, there's only 2. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And it's 30,800,000. Okay? All right, so let's take a look at the next one here. Find the product. Who thinks they know this one? It's actually 2 steps you got to do to get to the answer on this. It's not a 1-step problem. Somebody work with me here. Come on. Fire away, Tom.
The answer, do you want to know I did it?
Do the step in between first, and then we'll let you go to the answer. Well, you had to manipulate. You get a first answer, then you manipulate it a little, and you get your final answer.
I got, I did the 2.5 times 25, and I got 51.
No, you're doing number 3. We're doing number 2.
2?
Yeah.
I did, I can't remember.
Max, help him out.
It's 1.2.
Can you tell me what you got before that first?
12.
Uh-huh.
And then 12 times 10 to the 11.
Nice. So that's the first step. Max, if I'm right about this, I think you kind of look at it. You said product means to do what? Multiply. So then you do 3 times 4 is 12. Add exponents, you get 11. But what I love about Max's answer is he went the step further because he recognizes that 12 is not scientific notation. This number in front has to be between 1 and 10. Keep going, Max.
And then I changed it to 1.2
Okay, so you divided by 10 to get it to 1.2.
times 10 to the 12.
That's right, 1.2 times 10 to the 12. See, if I'm going to divide by 10 here, I have to multiply by 10 there to balance it out. For example, let's take a number like 5. What's 5 times 10? 50. What's 50 divided by 10? 5. So you get it back again. If I multiply by 10, divide by 10, if I divide by 10, multiply by 10, I always get back what I started with. They're called inverse operations, which means they undo each other. So by doing the dividing by 10 here, then the multiplying by 10 there, I'm able to convert to scientific notation, 1.2, and all it does is make it times 10 to the 12th rather than 10 to the 11th. Okay, a huge university has 2.5 times 10 to the 4th students. The budget passes 25 times 10 to the 9th dollars for staff. How much money is spent on the staff per student? And I want you to focus on this phrase, per student, because so many people, they look at this and they get what I call math block. Do you guys ever get writer's block? Where you're supposed to write an essay and you just don't know where to begin, right? What do they tell you when you get writer's block? What do they tell you to do? Just start writing. And you might do a bunch of no-nonsense stuff for a few minutes, but all of a sudden it starts to come. When you get math block, look for words like per. What operation does per mean again?
Divide.
Divide, very good. So I'm going to divide by what? Per what?
Students.
Students. So I'm going to find the students, and I'm going to put that on the bottom. So I'm going to go 2.5 times 10 to the 4th. Once again, what is the word that made me know to divide and knew to put the students in the bottom? Per student. Very good. Now on the top, and it says here, it says how much money per student. So money goes on the top. That's 25 times 10 to the 9th. Now when I do this division, 25 divided by 2.5 is 10 times 10 to the 5th. And I think Thomas was getting at this when he said that he needed to change it a little, right? What's the problem with this answer?
It's over 10.
Yeah, it's 10. So what do I have to do to get it to the right form?
Divide by 10.
I got to divide by 10. If I'm going to divide by 10 here, what do I have to do to balance it?
Multiply by 10.
Multiply by 10. So that gives me 1 times 10 to the 6th. Don't forget, there's really a little 1 there, even though we don't write it. Chris, Jason, Jerry, we got to stay focused here, right? All right. Any question about those? All right. Now, what we're doing here is we're really trying to, at the same time as we take some time to digest. Last November 24th, I got a double knee replacement. Yep. And I'm proud to say, I only missed 13 days of school. Now, do you know what a knee replacement does? Knee replacement's pretty nasty surgery. The first thing they do, yes, as a matter of fact, it's like a sawzall, not a chainsaw, but very similar. I will show you guys. I think that this is acceptable.
Oh, don't do it. Oh,
Okay.
don't do it. Oh, don't do
All right, you see that scar on the front of my knee there?
Yeah.
Run it right down the middle?
Yeah.
First thing they do is cut that wide open. Then they peel it back. Then they take a knife, and there's all these tendons in here at the end of your quadricep. And here's your kneecap. It's called a patella. They go right around it, they cut like this, and they peel it back.
Right.
Then they take out a sawzall, and they take the end of your femur, and they cut it like this, and like this. Then they take the bottom bone, called your tibia, and they cut this, and like this. And then they take metal, titanium pieces, and they glue them onto the ends of your bone. Then they fold this back over the top, then they stitch it up. Then they bring this back in, and they stitch that up. Then the very next thing that you do, after 4 hours, you wake up, and they tell you to start to walk. It hurts. Just a little bit. And they bring you down, and you do an exercise. You do a whole bunch of different exercises, physical therapy. Now, you do those exercises. If you do those exercises once, is your knee all better? No. What do you have to do with those exercises?
Keep on doing it.
Every day, in fact, twice a day. Twice a day, every day, and that gets you to the point where you start to do better. Well, it's exactly like that with math. What we do is we are going to do, we're going to do the same stuff each day, and what we want, just like my knee improves a little bit every day, we want your math ability to improve a little bit. Selena, Chris, Derek, Rach, I don't expect you to do the work once and all of a sudden you're a math expert. Just like I didn't expect me to go to physical therapy once and all of a sudden my knee was fine. I have to work it every day, and then it starts getting good. Derek, very quickly with your question.
So if I punch in a knee,
Your hand is going to hurt.
what if
It's
I kick,
metal,
like solid metal?
like solid
Grab
metal.
a magnet and put it next to his leg.
Yo, what if I
Oh
get
yeah, I
a
would
huge
go.
magnet?
If I walk through like a security thing to get on a plane, it's going to go. Brrr, brrr, brrr. Yeah, absolutely.
Can I punch in the knee?
I don't know why you would want to do that.
Can I feel it?
And I would strongly I don't want you feeling my knee. I would strongly suggest you not do that in front of my dogs. You could be in a lot. Your life, as you know, it could end. All right, now let's work. Hey. Trust, guys. Right? Little divergence, pull it back in, learn. Little divergence, pull it back in, learn. That's how we do things. We weave life and math together so that it means something to you. X to the 6th, I'm sorry. X to the 6th times X to the 13th. What are we going to get here? Spencer. What do I do to those exponents? What am I supposed to add? Good. So what's 6 plus 13? 19. Hey, boys, listen. Derek, you been doing good? Have you been doing well in here? I think you have, except today. All right? Find a way to keep yourself focused. There's always going to be temptation to not do what it is you should do. But you got to overcome that, all right? Temptation always comes along. Always somebody tempting, somebody into doing something they know is wrong. That's another line. Called Pink Cadillac. All right. B94 times B to the 78. What do I do to those exponents? Fire away, Ishmael. That's right. And what do I get when I add them?
162.
Yes. No, 172.
Yeah.
172. You ever hear the book Moby Dick?
Yeah.
It's one of the greatest books ever written. You know the first line of that book? Call me Ishmael. That's the very first line of that book. All right, next. I'm going to skip the right-hand side for a little bit here. Let's come down to number 2. It says simplify. Do you notice how in number 2 there are 2 different bases? What are the bases in number 2? One of them is a 6 and one of them is a 4. Now, you could do the 6s first. It's not wrong to do that, but I like to go in numerical order ascending, so I'm going to do the 4. And that's a 9 and that's a 3, so what do I get? 12. I add the exponents. You know what a lot of kids do wrong here? Who wants to see the right, wrong thing to do?
I don't want to do it.
This is the right, wrong thing. This is what kids do wrong all the time. They write 16. Because they multiply the 4 and the 4. But if I have x to the 3rd times x to the 4th, don't I add them and get x to the 7th? So doesn't the base stay the same all the time? The base doesn't change. Likewise here, the base doesn't change. All right, so then it's going to be 6 to the, and it has a 5 and a 14. So what am I going to get now? 19. Okay, you try the next one, D, if you haven't gotten it done already. Rach, what'd you get?
I got 5 to the 10th and 8 to 13.
That's right. 5 times 10 times 8, 5 to the 10 times 8 to the 13th. Selena, I tend to think you got these right because you were doing that stuff really well on your quiz, remember? Right, keep that base the same. 5, 5, 5, 8, 8, 8. Okay? All right. Now, the next one, it gets a little bit trickier. It's going to have you thinking in a little bit of a reverse process, but I think you can do this here. Now, what we see here, and I know this is a little bit hard to see. I'm going to go up to 200%. Oh, 500 is too big. 200. Nice. Much better. Okay. So look, they're saying if 1/3 to the 2nd times 1/3 to the 8th is 1/3 to the first book. Do you notice how the bases are staying the same, so we know they're doing it right? What is x going to be? Derek? 10 is correct, right? Because 2 plus 8 makes 10. Let's look at the next one. If 3 to the negative 2 times 3 to the x is 3 to the 12, x is. This is a little tricky. Let's give everybody a second to think about that, Derek. You look like it's painful to lift your arm up. Denise, what do you think? 14 is right. Doesn't it make sense that -2 plus 14 is 12? Right, isn't that true? -2 plus 14 is 12? All right. And again, all we're doing is taking things we've already learned and applying them. We're not doing a whole lot of new stuff here. Okay, I would like you guys to do this. Ready? These 4 questions. Go ahead and do them. Selena, we talked a couple of minutes ago. What do we do with the exponents here? Do we add them? No, when we're dividing, what do we do with the exponents? Subtract, right? Go ahead. Do it. A through H, everybody. A through H. God bless. We're almost over. Okay. Once again, we're dividing. What do we do to the exponents? Once again, we're dividing. What do we do to the exponents? Good. Stephen, head in the game. What's the first one? Not head on the desk, head in the game. Stephen, what do we got here? X to the 9th over x squared is x to the what?
X to the 6.
That's a sloppy mistake. I can live with those. X to the 7th.
Oh.
All right?
My bad.
Next up, you movie malo. 3 to the 5th times 2 to the 8th over 3 to the 2nd times 2 to the 3rd. Help me out here, Rach.
3 to the 3rd and 2 to the 5th.
That's right. 3 to the 3rd times 2 to the 5th. Sweet. Next, b to the 5th over b to the 4th. Selena. Beautiful. You can write either b to the 1 or you can just write b. Both of them are right. Okay? Great question. Go ahead, fire away.
-2.
Excuse me. Have a little respect. Go ahead.
-2 and then over
-2 to the 2, good. And then 95 to the?
1.
That's right. Or just 95. Either way, they're both acceptable. Okay? Very good. We have a question here, or? Go ahead.
You have to put the -2 in parentheses.
Yes. Great question. This is completely different. This means square the 2, then negate it. Very important that that be in parentheses. Question?
For G, I put 6, 8.
Can't do that. Different bases. They got to work differently. Okay, we're getting there, folks. Every day a little bit better. Hasta la vista. Vaya con Dios. Toodaloo. Ta-ta. Arrivederci. Smile a lot after 8th period. Ciao. Phone.
I didn't even get a warning. Sorry.
No warning.
Here.
You were in the hall with it.
I heard something,